Hello, Riverdale. I'm your host, Brittany. Welcome to Good Morning Riverdale, the talk show that brings you the hottest gossip, latest drama, and all-around happenings at Riverdale University. This morning, we have exciting news at the university Starbucks. This morning, Starbucks launched our new drink. This drink will only be featured at Riverdale University's Starbucks. It's called the Golden Dalers. Students have been lining up for it all day. This drink is made with long shot grande in a venti cup, half calf, salted caramel mocha latte with 2 pumps of vanilla substitute, 2 pumps of white chocolate mocha for mocha, and substitute 2 pumps of hazelnut for toffee nut, half whole milk and half breve with golden whipped cream, extra hot, extra foam, extra caramel, drizzle extra salt, add a scoop of vanilla bean powder with light ice, well stirred, and finally topped with 4 Garrett cold flakes. This drink is known to rejuvenate and help boost metabolism for these health-conscious college students. It also will give you enough energy for those all-nighters. Here is a student review.
I had the Golden Daler 2 times already today, and I feel great.
Students started lining up at 4 a.m. to get this drink before it sells out. So far, 3,000 cups have been sold. That is impressive, seeing as our entire student body is made up of 200 students. This drink was made in honor of the Dalers' 107th polo win with only 1 death toll. Go Dalers! And now for our gossip column. This week, we asked some Dalers about crazy roommate stories. Here is a few of their responses.
So freshman year, I was fighting my roommate for a while, and I walked into him getting a tattoo from some guy who just came and just gave him a tattoo. Really sketchy looking dude.
What was it a tattoo of?
A horse. Guy riding a horse, like, you know, Napoleon, or whatever that dude's name is.
I was his roommate, so I know his parents. I met them a couple times, and I haven't seen them in months. So I was like, "Oh, how are you guys doing? I haven't seen you forever. How you been? Blah blah blah." Dead silence. They don't even respond to me. So I just keep trying to keep the conversation going. I was like, "Oh, I was gonna see if you guys want to get some lunch, get some dinner, blah blah blah." Dead silent. No answer. No response. It just keeps getting more and more awkward. I was like, "Okay, well, it was good seeing you guys. I'm just gonna leave." And I start backing out of the door. And as I'm closing the door, his mom just stares into my soul, and she's like, "Adam, never again." I was like, "What did I do?" She's like, "Never again." And then I kept hearing stories for the rest of the week, how she told all of my friends that she met in his room, how I'm a terrible influence, and that he can never be seen with me again, and that they should all stay away from me.
So I'm gonna preface this with the fact that I have had like 8 roommates now. I'm a second semester junior. I've literally lived with so many people. It's insane. But the first one, what a gem. I lived in Haran, so it was like a suite. So I had my one roommate was Kristen. She, lovely girl, but like she was just not meant to be at school. She like would just sleep all day. She would go home like every weekend. Like it was kind of bad. Like I felt bad for her, but like she wasn't. Like we really like didn't talk at all. She would straighten her hair though, and like the smoke alarm would start to go off because she would like straighten her hair when it was still wet, I guess. And there would literally be smoke like coming out. It would smell so bad, but like I didn't say anything. But so that happened. But also then our like other 2 suite mates. Gabriella and Nicole. Gabrielle and TC. So they were friends from home, from Long Island. They get to school. They seem like BFFs. I was like, okay, great. I didn't really like hang out with them either. I just like knew them like because I lived with them, but like I didn't go out with them or anything. Halfway through first semester, I'm going to the bathroom. Gabriella like stops me in the hallway and is like, "Hey, like what's up?" Like talking to me like we're old pals. I was like, okay, whatever, this is weird, but I'll be her friend. She tells me about how her and TC had not spoken for like a month prior to coming to school because Gabriella was secretly dating TC's brother. And so, and like they kept it a secret from TC, but then TC found out. And I guess she's like really protective of her family. So they hadn't spoken for a month before coming to school. They get to school. Then they act like best friends because they're like, we're already in this, we're already rooming together. Like we just have to like pretend like this didn't happen. But they couldn't suppress it. And then they had this like giant fight, and then TC started not coming to the room and would commute like 2.5 hours every day from Long Island to the school. And then so then me and Gabriella kind of became friends. And so I'm like texting her second semester, like after spring break, like, hey, I'm back, like, let me know, like, when you're coming. And she goes, oh my God, sorry, I forgot to tell you. I actually transferred. So that happened. So then I was, like, alone in a suite. But then they, like, put people in, so it's fine.
Those crazy stories remind me of my own roommate experience. I'll never forget Tiffany from freshman year. Make sure to choose your roommates wisely. If you have any crazy stories you like feature on our show or know of any hot gossip, please send the idea to goodmorningriverdale.com. Oh no, I'm just getting reports that the Golden Dailers drink has been recalled after a sudden spike in crying, screaming, talking to inanimate objects, and sudden obesity. Turns out the 4-carat gold flakes have a hallucinogenic effect, and I mean, you heard what was in it. Why would any of us think it was healthy? As a result, gym hours have been extended for all those interested in working off those extra pounds. Now back to our scheduled program. This week we will be going over a serious topic. I bet you guys have been wondering why our student body has been thinning of late. Recently, many missing persons have been reported. It is rumored that Brother Dale's ghost has been summoned again and is causing all this chaos. For those of you who don't know or are new here at Riverdale University, here is the legend of Brother Dale. Brother Dale founded Riverdale University in 1854 after being excommunicated from the Catholic Church. He decided to open doors to students in order to promote ideals that got him kicked out of the church. The school's cheap tuition kept doors open, even though students regularly complained that Brother Dale would cut off their pinkies and hide them throughout the halls after failing exams and classes. After his tragic death from falling out the 11th floor of his residence hall, as revenge, students chopped off his pinkies and hid them on campus. Rumor has it that he roams the halls looking for his missing fingers. Students have sent in tapes describing their encounters with this paranormal activity. Let's take a look at the students' accounts of this reappearance.
Brother Dale was a professor on campus at Riverdale University. He was known for chopping off the pinkies of students who didn't receive below a C. So he would walk around, and if he would bring you to his office hours, and you'd chop off the upper part of your pinky to prove a point that you should study more and as a constant reminder that you need to improve.
So then one day, all the students that had their pinkies chopped off conspired against him and decided to kill him. So legend has it that he haunts this whole school. So one day last year, in Haran 636, we held a seance because we wanted to summon his soul. So it was all of us sitting around in a circle with candles and a Ouija board and everything, and we called upon him to come. And we were like, oh, nothing's really happening, whatever. The next day, my roommate woke up without pinkies. Little stubs as pinkies.
It was like a weekend of freshman year. It was the first Sunday I'd ever been on campus, and my parents made me go to church when I was in high school, and I always had my doubts about religion, so I didn't want to go. In college, I figured it was like my choice, and I was walking by mass as it was starting. And there was an old man he didn't look like a professor. He looked like a little raggedy, and I was walking by him, and he was smoking a cigarette, and he said, "Are you coming to mass tonight, son?" And I said, "Oh no, sir. Like, I'm sorry, not for me, not today." And he looked back at me and he said, "No, you don't have to apologize to me." And he looked upwards, like at God or something, and I was pissed. I was like, leave me alone, like, I don't need to do this. So it was that night, I was in bed, and I got woken up in a cold sweat, and there was a figure standing over me. And it was a man, and he was dressed in like priest clothes. And he was staring at me, cold eyes. And he said, "Apologize." And I was struck with fear, and I was just standing there, sitting in my bed. And I didn't know what to say. And then when I closed my eyes and opened up again, he wasn't there. And when I was walking out of the dorm the next morning, very distraught, very confused, there's a portrait of Brother Dale in the building, founder of the college. And the man who appeared before me that night was Brother Dale. And I go to church every Sunday.
Wow, looks like this is getting to be a serious problem. The school should definitely hire some Ghostbusters before parents start to notice the absence of their children. If anyone has any information about these missing students, please contact Public Safety. Thank you for joining us this morning. Don't forget to be on the lookout for the ghost of Brother Dale and watch out for your pinkies. I'm your host, Brittany. Have a fantastic day.